Just before I start, it's always a privilege. In fact, like I have my guru here who gave me my first job. So Satyan apparently happens to be my first job provider in my campus placement. So we just spoke about campus placement. So okay, so good evening everybody, and my name is Ravi Kanakarajan, and I take care of the commercial business for the southern part of the country. It's an honor and privilege to be before all of you to present my brand this evening. So friends, today's agenda is very light and going to be very simple. I'm sure like most of you know who Lenovo is or what Lenovo does, but I'll just take a few minutes for those who are not very familiar about Lenovo. And very important, I'll be talking to you about as to what is Lenovo driving towards, and in link to the technology seminar that we have today, compared to your last 10 or 15 years, because it's going to be very different. Today, profitability is going to be the key, and I'm sure like all of you know, like just by selling the hardware, you're not going to be profitable or sustainable in the business. So what is it that we in Lenovo are doing to make our partner community more profitable, and in the long term, how do you sustain your business? So a quick few slides about what Lenovo is. Today, we're a $46 billion company, roughly about 3 lakh crores, present in about 160 countries with about over 55,000 employees worldwide. Last 1 year has been very interesting for us. Thanks to partners like you across the world, we have grown tremendously. And one of the parameters, as we always see, is the Global Fortune 500 list. So we've actually jumped from about 370 about a couple of years back. Today, we're in the around 230, and I presume like it's in a matter of a couple of years, we should be in the top 100, and that is what we are aiming for. This is just a heritage slide. The last 10 years has been very exciting for Lenovo, and especially the last 1 year, if I can talk about the IBM System X acquisition and the Motorola, has been the two largest marquee brands that Lenovo has acquired for the last 4 quarters, or the last 12 months. And it's been a successful integration for us, and it's given us a lot of visibility across in the market, and it has given a lot of opportunity for our partners to grow along with Lenovo and to meet much more profitability in the coming days. So the world is changing, and definitely Lenovo, we really understand this, and we are also changing with times. So what are the things that we are doing? Both looking at the consumer, at the end customer, as well as at our partners at the worldwide level. Today, all of you know that Lenovo has always been a PC company, and we have always been a PC company over the last 10 years, barring for the last 1 year where we have done a lot of acquisition. Today, if you see the erstwhile PC market, if I can just show this particular market at the worldwide level is just about 65 million units a quarter, and that market is actually degrowing. And today, if you were to look at the PC plus connected devices that I'm talking about, the mobiles and smartphones, the tablets alone is about 40 million units a quarter at the worldwide level. The smartphone is about 350 million units a quarter at the worldwide level. So today, Lenovo doesn't consider a HP or a Dell to be its competitor. Today, we have a long way to catch up, and today we consider an Apple or a Samsung to be our competitors. So that's one of the biggest investments that we have done. And if you were to see the kind of products that we have launched over the last couple of quarters, is primarily towards the smart connected devices. Today we have end-to-end offering on the smartphones, on the tablets, and on the PCs. We'll talk a little bit more about it as we go along. This is very important again. Today we are talking about the infrastructure devices. One of the important reasons why the Lenovo has acquired the IBM X series server business is primarily because of this. And then the cloud. We have our own story of the cloud. Now these are all three things that we'll be talking about as we go along in the next couple of quarters and a couple of years, where you will be able to work along with Lenovo to provide end-to-end solutions towards your customers. So the first one is the enterprise. A major acquisition that happened about a year back. We are looking at building a $5 billion business in terms of enterprise, and we are partnering along with some of the major players in the industry, be it in terms of Microsoft, Intel, VMware, most of the players here in the enterprise space to create a strong foundation, and we're looking at building a $5 billion business in the mid to long term. In terms of devices, how many of you know like the CES, the Consumer Electronics Show that happens every year in Las Vegas? Can you just raise your hands if you're aware of it? I think not many people. Okay, so CES is an event that happens every year, and all the vendors go and show their innovation across to the consumers and to the technocrats across the world who come over there, and they get evaluated and they get awarded for the best designs and for the best products. So can I just ask you, like, would anybody guess like how many awards that Lenovo won last year? I mean, you can just give me a number. I mean, if you come somewhere close, I would be more than happy to give you an award. Please go ahead, just take a guess. Sorry? I'm sorry, this is an event. There are multiple vendors from all over the country who come across. Any other guess? Sorry, sir? Okay, so I'll keep it a little short. So Lenovo won 83 awards last year, and that's purely because of the design and innovation that gone into the product. As you all know that Lenovo comes from the Think as a brand comes from the legacy of IBM with a lot of patents and a lot of technology that comes into the machine. So last year we won 83 awards, and can you just guess who's the second best brand and what is the number that they did? Yeah, Samsung. And what is the award that the number of awards that they won? Okay, slightly higher. So Samsung won about 44, if I'm not wrong. If my memory serves me right, they won about 44 awards. But the most important thing is, like, how do we continue to beat our own technology and be one step ahead? And that is precisely where Lenovo is coming strongly. We're looking at being more innovative on our products. And that's one of the reasons why we've been able to sustain our growth in a market which has been diminishing, which is fast degrowing, and we have still been able to retain our market share at a worldwide level. Smartphones, as I told you, this is a market which is about 350 million units a quarter. India is the largest market. We have a very strong commitment towards the country. All of you will know that we already have a manufacturing plant for the PCs in Pondicherry in India, but just recently we also announced our manufacturing plant for the smartphones in Chennai. We are committed for the long term, and this is something that there's a major investment that's coming across both in India at the worldwide level. So we had acquired Motorola as a brand. So we have Motorola, the premium space, and in the main and the value space is what the Lenovo smartphone work under. And today we are already in India. We are a number 4 or number 5 player as per the last IDC report. Tablets, again a very interesting market. This is roughly about 44 to 45 million units a quarter at a worldwide level for tablets. And India again is a very important market for us at worldwide level. Today we are at number 3, and India in terms of revenue we have been number 2 last quarter in terms of tablets. What have been the results? At the end of the day, this is something that is more important. So if you were to look at the growth, the last 5 to 6 years, we've been able to grow consistently and very strongly. We sell out of every 100 units that sold in the market, 20 units are Lenovo. So we have a 20% market share at the worldwide level. And this was purely possible only because of partners like you who have been actually growing along, who have been working along with Lenovo at the worldwide level in terms of trusting the brand and in terms of growing our market share at a worldwide level. So this is not an easy market share. We have had a very strong incumbent player whom we dislodged, and for the last 2 straight years we've been consistently about close to about 20% market share at the worldwide level. This is an important question that I get asked everywhere wherever I go. I mean, Lenovo has historically been known more of a PC company, right? If you were to see year on year, this particular chart will show, like, today our dependency on PCs is actually going down, and if you were to see from compared to last year, the contribution of enterprise is about 10%, and that of mobile is about 20%, and the contribution of PC is actually going down from about 80% plus to around 70%. And we want our enterprise and mobiles to be contributing much more, close to about 35 to 40% in the next 2 to 3 years' time. There's already, these are very interesting statistics. In fact, for the number of devices that we keep selling because of the smartphones and the mobiles and tablets today, we are selling currently about 4 devices for every second. So by the time I finish this presentation in 20 minutes, not 20 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm sorry. Okay, so we have sold thousands of units. So these are some of the things that we have, that some of the players keep talking about in terms of Lenovo, in terms of how Lenovo has grown over the years, and how investors have had the confidence on Lenovo as a brand and investing. And in fact, like, if most of you are investors here today, I would probably encourage you to go and pick up some shares of Lenovo, because the next 4 to 5 years is something that's going to be very, very interesting in the market. And people who had invested on Apple, let's say about 10 years back and today, you can understand what the kind of money that they're making. So Lenovo is the right time to make an investment, and if you're looking at a good investment, probably Lenovo could be one of the options. Now this is an important question preparing for the future. Now this is something that probably I'll just spend a few minutes on this particular slide, because this is something that's going to be touching each and every one of our lives in the coming few quarters and few years. So our strategy has been very, very simple. I mean, our formula for success at the worldwide level has been very, very simple, and our success for growth has actually been through partners at the worldwide level. Okay, there are 4 important things that we actually drive. We have a very clear strategy. Our strategy is very simple, which is communicated to each and everybody, and all our partners know very well what they have to do and what is expected of them and what they could expect from Lenovo. In terms of operational excellence, of course, coming from the legacy, one of our core strengths has actually been in terms of operational excellence. In terms of execution, we are second to none, and we have had one of the best executions that's happening across some of the large mega deals across the country. I'm not too sure like how many of you are aware, the recent order that we picked up at Elcott. Does anybody know the number? Can you just give me a guess how many units that we have sold, we have just picked up the order for recently? Government of Tamil Nadu. Come on, that's too less for a state like Tamil Nadu. Okay, we picked up a single order for 6,60,000 units. That's the largest order that's been picked up by any vendor, and the orders were given to Lenovo not because of the commercials, definitely not, because Lenovo as a brand has never been competitive only on pricing. It's probably because of the operational excellence. We were one of the first to execute the first deals without any issues, and the services has been less than 0.1% of our sales that we have done across to entire government of Tamil Nadu Elcott. So it's primarily because of our execution capabilities and the quality of the product and the quality of service. Innovative products that goes along with the brand, especially the brands that's like Think that we have. There's a lot of patents that goes along with the products, and a lot of investment that goes along in terms of innovation. And the CS is one of the scorecard or the benchmark in terms of how Lenovo performs and invests on the R&D. In terms of global team, today Lenovo is not considered as a Chinese brand. Today I had the opportunity of traveling across multiple countries, and today it's considered as good as any other multinational brand across the world, and not as a Chinese company. So just a quick few seconds on how we are structured at the worldwide level. We basically have 3 buckets. So one is basically on the mobile business group, that is basically smartphones and tablets. You have your ecosystem and cloud, which is the second bucket, and the third bucket is basically your PC plus servers. A quick few slides. Sorry. Yeah, I'm done. Just give me 2 minutes. So the last slide, and an important slide, how are we doing in India? So India is a very important market for Lenovo. A lot of investment is going across in India with local manufacturing. We all keep hearing about the manufacturing story in India, and we are definitely committed towards it, and a lot of investment is going across here in India. Today we have a market share of about 20%, and with the Elcott we'll definitely be much more, and we'll be a market leader. Our objective is to be a consistent market leader without the mega deals, and that's something that we would like to work along with partners like you to grow our market share and be a consistent number 1 at the country level. So that's all I had from my side. So I want to thank all of you for your time. If there's any questions, we'll take it up later. Thank you.